GameCola faithful. If you haven't noticed by now, I'm not Joseph Martin. Welcome to podcast number 127. I am temporary podcast commander Anna Bryniarski. With me today, I have...
Dan Conlin. I like almonds.
I'm John Rizzi. I like cashews.
I'm at Breslau.
Nice.
I also like cashews. So let's fight about that.
I'm James Pelster. I like pistachios.
Chaos. Nice.
And since Joe is busy with things, I volunteer to host, and it's going to be memes all night. Who's ready for memes?
Welcome to the GameCola Podcast, everybody.
I am facepalming already.
What about the nuts?
Oh, we're all nuts.
GameCola Nut Cat. Wait.
The GameCola Nut. Nope.
Phrasing.
You're all children.
And now we've been banned by iTunes.
Oh, there's worse stuff on iTunes. You kidding me?
All right. So we did get a few talking points from Joseph Martin, who cannot be with us tonight. He's not here.
We killed him.
Sorry, Joe. Sorry you had to find out this way.
He's the last vestige of the cloud above that tries to help us not devolve into utter chaos.
It's all right. We've already gone off the rails. All right. So the talking points he suggested are Pokemon, Smash, and Red Dead Redemption.
I can get behind all three of these things.
I've certainly heard of them.
As have I. I have played other Pokemon games.
Well, then, why don't you tell us
That's
about
a start.
that?
Well, Pokemon games are really cool. Unfortunately, I know almost nothing about the new Pokemon games, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
Except what they're called, apparently.
Yes.
That's
that is
Pokemon
indeed,
Yellow.
It can confirm. They are indeed called that.
Pokemon
So you
Yellow
do
plus
know something.
Pokemon
You
Go.
lied to us.
Yeah, Pokemon Yellow plus the rival in Pokemon Yellow.
You know what's
Eevee is
actually
best.
interesting? Everyone I've talked to about this game has gotten Eevee.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Well, that's
Well,
because
'cause
we've already gotten
I,
so much Pikachu in everywhere else.
That's exactly
know.
why I got it. That's exactly why I got Eevee.
I know for certain that other GameCola staff writers, Coley and Diana, both also have Eevee because they pop up on my Switch every once in a while. I'm like, oh, they also have Eevee.
Yeah, it's just
I
whenever
have Pikachu.
whenever a remake comes out, I always go for the one that I didn't get originally. And since I was forced to get Pikachu, since there was the only one when Yellow came out, I pretty much was forced to get Eevee this time around. If I stick by that rule, which I do. So
You switch it up more than I do. I just always pick the fire starter, and then
Yes.
my second playthrough, and then on my second playthrough, I always pick the water starter, with the exception of Ultra Moon, in which case I actually picked Rowlet.
I
just picked the
Pikachu.
cutest one.
I like Pikachu.
you got Pikachu
I don't
in a world
like the
full of
fact...
Pikachu?
Huh?
You got Pikachu in a world full of Pikachu?
Well, it's because my sister wanted Eevee.
This is Pikachu. There are many like it, but this one is hers.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So, legitimate question about the game.
Yeah.
Does anyone know what the main difference between them is, besides the main Pokemon that follows you around most of the time?
Well, yeah. Basically the main difference is it took everything kind of RPG-esque about Pokemon and turned it on its side and said, "All right, let's just take Pokemon Go, which is, I'm going to say at its roots, somewhat of an RPG, if we're going to be nice to it, and we'll just take all of that functionality and shove it into a main console Pokemon game." Which, it's worth mentioning, this is the first console main series Pokemon title. So, that's cool.
Actually, I do remember when this was announced, though, that this is not the core RPG Pokemon title that they talked about at E3 2 years ago, I think.
No, it's not.
Yeah, there's still another one
is-
coming for the Switch.
In which case, is this really a mainline game in that case?
Or is
Basically,
it
every
just
piece
another
of
spin-off?
literature that I've read about it, including literature from Nintendo, says that this is a main series title. It just isn't the one that they were talking about.
I feel meh about this. So I'm at a point in the game where I'm trying to level grind as best I can, and it's a little harder to do that with this new mechanic with catching Pokemon, because you're not actually battling them. You're just catching them.
So,
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. So I knew that the catching mechanics were different, but do you just straight up not battle Pokemon in the traditional way anymore?
Not wild
during
Pokemon.
wild Pokemon battles, no. It's basically just like Pokemon Go. You have an opportunity to catch the Pokemon with the pulsating ring of color to specify how difficult the Pokemon is to catch. And you have a bag full of Pokeballs, and you just throw and throw and throw. And when you catch a Pokemon, your party gets experience for that. But if it's not a Pokemon that you want to catch, then you're not going to get any experience for it.
Wow, that makes it seem like it's... I assume, have they adjusted like the difficulty of trainers and such to accommodate for the fact that you're not going to be gaining nearly as much experience as you would if you were actually earning it in a more reliable fashion? Like, you're going to want to... You know, when you're fighting Pokemon, or I should say that's a bad phrasing, but in a traditional Pokemon game, you want to battle other wild Pokemon to gain experience, but I think you're more inclined to grind for experience when you don't have to worry about filling up your PC box.
Yeah.
As a result of doing that.
The difficulty curve in Pokemon games as of the last, I want to say, 2 generations has been pretty, lackadaisical. They've gotten a little bit more casual with it, which I can appreciate as a veteran because, let's just face it, generations 2 and 3 are very difficult towards the end game. You're very underleveled for your opponents toward the Elite Four. And Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee both do a pretty good job of evening out that difficulty curve and making it so that it's not super easy, but it's also not super difficult. And to add to the whole, wild Pokemon battling thing, it's also not too much of a hassle with grinding and finding wild Pokemon, because if you don't want to find wild Pokemon for any reason, there actually aren't random encounters anymore. Pokemon appear on the overworld a la Earthbound.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'd like to see more of that.
Hearing about that. So that
nice.
seems like a very good change.
It definitely
going
balances
with
out since
how
they're
they wanted
no
to
longer
carry
battles.
the mechanics. So could you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
Oh yeah, since encounters with wild Pokemon are no longer battles in the traditional sense, you now have a lot more of a decision about whether you should even enter the battle. Because in older games, it's all random encounters. You encounter the Pokemon, and then you have to decide whether to catch or fight or flee. Now it's just, I'm going to avoid this Pidgey and just not touch it at all.
Yeah, Mooncave has got to be finally bearable now.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it very much is.
Mount Moon is very nice.
Not just 12,000 Diglets and 12,000 Zubats.
Other than that, it's just the fact that I'm lazy, which is why I was so excited when EXP share started to be a thing in Pokemon. I don't want to keep attempting to catch Pokemon that I don't want in order to be able to defeat a gym.
Yeah.
And also having to go back to the Pokemart and buy 1,000,000 Pokeballs.
Yeah, that's true. That seems like... Because I mean, well, to be fair, wild Pokemon encounters never granted you money. But the money was always a limited resource in the games, but now it seems like it's going to be even more scarce if you're essentially forced to go around catching new Pokemon, not just to build up your team, but just to supplement the power of your existing team.
Well, actually, that brings up another interesting point about the game is in older Pokemon games, when you beat a trainer, they just give you some money and you could buy what you want. But now when you beat a trainer, you not only get money, but you also get items. Most of the time,
really?
Pokeballs. The game is very heavily focused on catching.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's a good change. I like
it. It is nice.
That's really good to see. I was really worried that this was just going to be, hey, they took Pokemon, but they gutted out wild battles. That's what my biggest concern was.
Well, I mean, honestly, that is kind of what they did. They just
but
they
I
definitely
mean, what I
balanced it.
mean by that is they took Pokemon, they cut out one of the core features to some extent, and then they just left the rest of the game as is. Like they didn't update or modify the rest of the game mechanics to any extent in order to help adjust to that core change. And it's good to see that they seem to have really thought about how to go about changing something so integral to the Pokemon experience.
Yeah, I was surprised at how much they were able to balance out some of the things that I thought were going to be problematic. So I totally agree.
Speaking of changes, I heard they also did away with HMs. Isn't that right?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, but that's been a thing since Sun and Moon, actually.
All right, I skipped those. I haven't played those yet.
Yeah.
Oh, they are
definitely
fantastic.
should. I recommend them highly.
That's what I heard, yeah.
They're really good. The story is fantastic, in my opinion. I know a lot of people say it's a Pokemon story, it's not that great, but compared to other Pokemon stories, this is like something out of a Disney movie.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. But yeah, I guess HMs, as of now, and I guess moving forward from now on, they're an antiquated thing now. It's not necessary to have to fill up your Pokemon's moveset with not necessarily garbage, but let's face it, how many people really are using the HM moves in battle? I know I try not to.
Hey, don't you be dissing Surf.
Except for Surf and Fly.
Surf is amazing.
Surf is awesome.
But I don't ever use Cut or Strength or Rock Smash in battle against opponents.
And who the hell uses Flash?
I have used Strength and Rock Smash before. Now, granted, only for a very short amount of time until I got better TMs and stuff. And actually, that makes me realize, not to get too far off topic here, but just going back to the topic of how they've kind of removed some of these, what are considered antiquated aspects of the Pokemon experience, which is TMs as well. That was back in, Generation 5, where TMs were made infinite use, and essentially TMs became, like, HMs.
HMs, yeah.
Like, I think that was a fantastic change, because, let's be honest, TMs being, only being able to find one of most TMs in the entire game, that was pretty ridiculous. Like, if you made any mistakes or anything with who you gave that TM to, it was just, that was it.
Yeah.
You had no choice. You had to start over your game. And it discouraged breeding of Pokemon with better stats as well, because if you wanted to get through to a place where you could, in order to get to the part of the game where you could breed Pokemon and do all this advanced stuff, you would probably end up having to teach these Pokemon some of those valuable limited TMs, and then you couldn't give them to your perfect IV Pokemon later on.
Well, to be fair, I remember maybe it's just me, but in the older games, especially the first two generations, for me at least, it was more of just about brute forcing your way through the whole game. There was not a lot of strategy going on. It's just
I did that in Fire Red with my Charizard. I just blew through the entire game just with him. I almost never switched out, and it was awful. I'll be honest, it sucked, but it's so much easier to take the kind of route that you want, because I think it is still easily possible to just brute force your way through the more modern titles. If anything, I feel like it might actually be easier. But
Well, yeah,
it's
because
not as
the
encouraged.
difficulty curve is easier too. So
Yeah, but it's not as encouraged. You get more of a satisfaction, and it's easier to see the benefits of building a more balanced team, especially with the EXP share. And does anybody remember? I can't remember if this was just a myth or not. One of those schoolyard myths that you hear back in elementary and middle school. But was the EXP all item a thing in Gen 1 or 2?
the experience
I
was.
remember
I remember
hearing about an
something.
EXP all, which functioned
It was very
similarly.
not very effective from what I remember, but I'm pretty sure it was there.
Yeah,
it does exist.
That was what I was like, ooh, how do I get that? Because back then I was always thinking, oh man, if only my entire party could just get experience.
Yeah.
And they did just a very little bit.
Yeah.
It was almost
but
not
that's
even
also
worth it.
because the way that experience was split back then. I think in the earlier generations, experience would actually be split rather than duplicated for party members. Because nowadays, I think the experience is actually duplicated for each Pokemon.
That I'm actually not too sure of, but I do know for a fact, because I just completed a full Pokedex completion run of Red, Blue, and Yellow recently. There is an experience all item, and it's just, I mean, it's good, but you get such paltry experience per Pokemon that leveling up becomes even more of a hassle. I mean, you still level up the Pokemon in roughly the same amount of time, but no one is actually leveling. Sure, I can level up all my Pokemon at the same time, and everybody gets experience, but if I'm trying to get them from 35 to, let's say, 36, and they all reach 36 at roughly the same time, I'm not as well off as if some of them are reaching 36 first, because now I stand a little bit better of a chance while the others are trying to get to 36 with the Pokemon.
Yeah, because once one Pokemon gets to 36, you can start sweeping. That was what I did, is I would just swap out, I would swap in my low-level Pokemon, and then swap out to my higher level, and then just blast them brute force.
Yeah, and I think Pokemon is a series that actually does a pretty good job of giving you that feeling of like just the one level increase actually meaning something, because oftentimes it actually does.
All right, have we exhausted our Pokemon discussion?
I mean, we could keep talking about Pokemon, but
but I'm sure our viewers really want us to discuss, like, they're going to be hearing this like, you know, after this, but it's already huge news, and that would be Smash.
Yes.
You know who's a cool Pokemon? Incineroar. If only he was in Smash Bros. Oh shit!
Oh my god!
Transitioning. So
yeah. Oh, I have to say, just real quick, I am in a couple game like modding communities, and when Smash leaked early, just the general chat was just absolutely going insane. Like, the hype behind this game is incredible.
Which league are we talking? Are we talking about the so-called Grinch leak earlier, or is this a different one? Like
no. Like, as in in Mexico, I believe it was. They broke the street date, so somebody got a full copy of the game, and it leaked. The entire full release version of the game leaked online like 2 weeks early.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I missed that one too.
Yeah, no, Smash has actually been out. People have been spoiling it for everybody, and everyone's really mad because people are just revealing like what songs are in the game. They're data mining it before it's even officially come out.
Oh no. Add this to the list of reasons why Sakurai doesn't like us.
Oh no, Sakurai of all people hates it when his stuff is leaked early.
Yep. And we know that, and the community continues to be vitriolic.
Well, at least the good thing is that I've seen a lot of like public like figureheads of the Smash, like of the data mining community, like TCRF, the Cutting Room 4, which documents unused or hidden content in games, and a couple other places have all made public statements saying, "Hey, we know the game has leaked, but we will absolutely not be discussing any of it until the official release date."
Good for them.
So yeah, I really appreciate that there's a lot of people going out and saying, hey, if you want to play this game early, if you want to go out and obtain a sketchy link somewhere, that's fine, but please don't ruin it for the rest of the people who are just waiting patiently for the release date.
Yeah, by the time this podcast comes out, it will be several days until the release. Mm-hmm. It'll be like 4 days until it comes out. I pre-ordered this game in August.
Damn.
Yeah, I pre-ordered
it
the day
except
after
I'm
the
terrible at
direct
Smash. So, and I also don't want to pay for. And I also think Switch Online is still garbage. So I refuse to get it.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm not having many problems with Switch Online so far, so that's interesting to hear.
Well, no, I'm not talking about like as in like technical issues. I'm just saying that as a service, it is garbage. People should not be paying what they are. It is partially about the terrible, terrible virtual console, but also when other consoles provide online services for free, I don't think Nintendo really has any right to be charging people that other consoles other Nintendo consoles at that have had for free.
Well, didn't Sony do the same thing with the PS4?
Yeah, like PS4 online isn't free, and neither is Xbox.
Yeah.
So, wait, you cannot play games online?
As far as I know, not without Plus, I don't think.
Yeah, no, you need PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Well, that's also incredibly garbage then.
So everything is terrible.
So in that case, no, I'm glad I don't own any of those consoles because I would not.
Everyone in Smash is dead and everything else is terrible.
PC Master Race.
We found our tagline for the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Love anything.
I mean, honestly, even if we're talking about spending the money on it and it's kind of the principle of the matter, I spend less money on soda every month. So, or I spend more money, I should say, on soda.
Yeah,
every month.
I don't disagree, but just again, maybe call me spoiled if you want. I have been for a while, first and foremost, a PC gamer. And this is one of the many reasons why. It's because, yes, you have to pay for internet, but people are saying, oh, well, if you're playing on PC, you have to pay for internet. I'm like, you have to do that for console too, on top of paying for this service.
I mean, the services on the consoles, they actually cost money to maintain on the developer side, though.
Yeah, but at the same time, why is it that PC game online is free?
I mean, when I say the developer, I mean the developer of the console.
Isn't the cost of maintaining the online service called for in the price of the game?
Because the consoles are running their own networks. That too costs money to maintain.
Yeah.
Like for PCs, you're literally using the networks that your PC is hooked up to, which is your house, which you're paying for separately, which is what I'm guessing.
But consoles do the same thing. Consoles connect through your internet service provider. You still need to pay for.
Yes, but they're using the networks that are created by Sony and Microsoft and now Nintendo.
But that's still the case for PC games as well. They do the same thing. Like if you want to play a lot of online games, you have to connect to services run by Sony or Capcom or Konami in order to actually connect to online. There are a lot of AAA titles on PC.
No, that's for people online all over. For Sony and Microsoft, they have their own networks that connect to people like other PS4s and then other Xboxes and other Switches. They have one specifically for each one.
And that's also without even mentioning that certain games like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV require you to pay a subscription to play no matter what.
That brings up another question. Do games with crossplay between consoles and PC, do those any of those specifically let you play without a subscription fee, I wonder? Because you'd think that would sort of put all the, they'd be using the network of the PC players instead of the console.
That I'm actually not sure about.
Yeah, like Rocket League, for instance, I'm pretty sure that doesn't use Sony or Microsoft's exclusive servers because it's crossplay. I'm pretty sure that runs off of Rocket League's own servers.
Yeah, and
I've heard of games.
Yeah, actually,
I have heard of games. Sorry,
I can play Fortnite right now on my PS4 just fine and I don't have a PS Plus membership. So it all depends on the game and which servers the games use themselves. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Then I wonder if Fortnite on Switch would be the same, because if it's not, then I think my complaint is still valid.
If it's cross-play, then I would guess maybe it is. Though hard to say with the way Nintendo handles online. They've never done it that well.
Yeah. Who
well,
knows?
Anyway, honestly, I would
off
consider
topic.
your complaint valid anyway, just because it's your opinion that you shouldn't have to pay any extra money for an online service when you've already purchased a console. And I could understand.
Yeah, and
that
I'm
being a
already
valid
paying
opinion.
for actual internet access to begin with.
Yeah, I personally don't mind paying for the opportunity to play online, especially since it is so cheap. It's only $20 a year for Switch. But I'm not going to say that you're wrong, because you have a point, and there's a part of me that agrees with that.
Anywho, to back to the actual Smash.
Yeah, Smash. About that Smash. Boy, oh boy.
And since this is the meme podcast, can we discuss Piranha Plant?
We can.
I was
there when those memes started, and that was glorious.
When I saw that, I
Great.
laughed my goddamn ass off so much. I was so happy when I saw Piranha Plant.
It's so goofy looking, though. He's so goofy.
That's the
he just
point.
picks up
It's
the
just
bottle.
That's the point.
hilarious.
Smash always has a goofy character.
Yeah,
Game & Watch
I was
a goofy
alone
character
when I
it
watched
came out.
it.
Rob was a goofy character. And fucking
I was
Duck
alone when
Hunt
I
last
watched it,
year
and I was just like, excuse me? I
I'm
like
all
Duck
for it.
Hunt.
I love
I
it.
think Duck
you
Hunt
see
was
the
a
little
good
nubs he has for
inclusion.
feet?
But I can't say the same about Piranha Plant. I think it's cool that there's another goofy character, but We discussed this a little bit when it was announced, but it's just one of those like characters that it's kind of a perk for. Hey, I got this, during pre-order time. I guess.
Actually, if you check the website, they'll continue offering him for free if you purchase the game before January 31st.
Okay.
Well,
so it is still a limited time offer, but now I guess the alert
you don't have
getting
to pre-order.
the game as a pre-order.
Well,
is
it's
gone.
not a limited.
Yeah.
It's not a limited time offer. It's just you have to pay extra for him after that date.
Okay.
yeah.
Right? Like they're not permanently preventing you from. I don't imagine they're going to permanently prevent late adopters.
Oh yeah, no, he's not
from
locked.
You
playing.
can
not
never
locking him
have
out.
Piranha Plant.
Can you imagine if they did that though? Holy shit!
That would be pretty scummy.
But I think just the crazy thing is that if they did do it, it would work. Like so many people would pre-order it or get the game within that time frame.
I feel like Nintendo doesn't want Sakurai getting any more death threats than he's already getting. Which, can I talk? I don't know if I've talked about this before, but people are like so upset that their favorite character didn't make it into Ultimate.
Oh yeah, let's actually talk about this because I have very
Waluigi.
strong opinions about this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Waluigi.
I would just
Isaac.
like to say that
Rest
all
in-
of you people who are
Rest in
upset, rest in Wah. Wayne. So all of you people who are upset that your characters didn't get into Smash Ultimate, that's fine. You can be upset when when you see characters who don't really seem that relevant or like side characters getting put in from obscure series and stuff like that. It's fine to be upset. It is not fine to send death threats and start spouting obscenities at Sakurai and the Smash team when they are clearly putting in so much effort to give this game a ridiculous amount of content.
Yeah.
Like, say what you will about what the content
that's
is,
coming
but
out
the fact
later.
remains that there is an insane amount of work and content being put into Smash Ultimate. And I really don't think that at the end of the day, you can fault them for trying to make this an incredibly ambitious and fleshed out game. And I just think that some of the reaction by the community members is absolutely ridiculous and deplorable.
Yeah. Do you remember when they announced Metroid Prime Federation Force, and within like 3 hours there was a petition to cancel the game?
Oh, God, yes.
Because Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah, that was...
Memes, guys. Memes.
That was
we can be
sickening.
serious on a memes podcast.
Yes, yeah, we can.
There are
that was
memes
sickening,
related
though.
to Smash. This is just a
We have had
slightly
surprisingly
more
few
serious.
memes, actually.
I'm sorry.
There
I'll
were
try
even
to
memes
pick
made
up a
about
meme
this
game.
one. Like, there's the meme of Piranha Plant licking the tears of Shadow the Hedgehog. That's one of my favorite images. Is just like, oh, you're salty? Oh, here, let me... yes, I feed on your salt.
I was
It's
gonna make a
wonderful.
meme joke.
Make a meme
Dude,
joke.
can we have?
I was gonna make a meme joke while we were talking about Pokemon because I caught an Onyx.
You caught a Square
2
Enix?
seconds later, I was
Nice.
battling
Square
somebody
Onyx.
with another Onyx.
Square Onyx.
And I was just like, Spider-Man meme. There you
Yeah,
go.
Onyx versus
that
Onyx.
was my
Pointing.
contribution to the memes.
Whoa.
Can we have an animated GIF of Shovel Knight being excited for Smash, and then he gets like a message from Mario or some shit, and then he goes and digs Piranha Plant out of the ground and gives him the Mario, and then he just leaves in tears.
That's not a good meme. That's just making me
Yeah,
sad.
don't make him sad. Make him angry. Make it a revenge tale.
Oh, God.
Next time.
Then he-
A
okay,
revenge
then he-
tale.
Next
Piranha
time
Plant
on
goes
Smash.
west.
Then he hires the Incineroar to go beat everybody up.
I'm very excited for Incineroar. I don't know about you guys. I chose Litten as my starter for Sun and Moon, and even though I didn't really play it, it's still like my favorite thing ever.
Yeah. Actually, this gives us a chance to talk about something a little bit more lighthearted. What characters are you guys the most excited to see in the new Smash?
Sam, seriously.
Did you just say Sans? It
That's what I
sounded
heard.
to me like
It
you said
sounded just
Sans, and I was
I
about to
started
go,
saying Samus,
what?
but I meant to say Zero Suit Samus.
Okay,
Wait, do you mean
well, I mean,
New
but
Ki-
Samus
She's
is
my
already
main.
in
I know, but she's still my main, and I love her.
I was gonna say, did you mean new character or character we've already seen?
I am probably most excited. I would if I had a choice. I mean, Incineroar. I love Incineroar, but I might go Ridley.
Ridley.
Which is funny because didn't they say that Ridley wouldn't be in Smash 4 because he was too big?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's not so big anymore. This must be Metroid 1 Ridley, the one that was roughly the same size as Samus.
I think that's the idea.
I think Nathaniel's mentioned it, that in Metroid 1, Ridley was about the same size.
Yeah.
Ridley was like a huge thing, like, when it was announced. Like, when it was announced he was going to be in the game. And then I completely forgot until you just mentioned that he was going to be in this. it was a shocker, like, oh my gosh, Ridley. And then I just forgot.
So for those of you just listening, and aren't too lazy to look up the list of yourselves, the full list of newcomers are the Inklings from Splatoon, Ridley from Metroid, Simon and Richter Belmont from Castlevania, King K. Rool from Donkey Kong, Isabelle from Animal Crossing, Incineroar from Pokemon, Piranha Plant as a DLC character, and as new Echo Fighters we have Dark Samus, Daisy as an Echo for Peach, Chrom as an Echo for Roy, Ken as an Echo for Ryu. And I believe that's about it.
Have I mentioned that Simon Belmont looks like a douchebag? Because I'm pretty sure that was my first comment the first time that I saw him.
He's so much. I was about to say, what is wrong with like the way he looks?
Warrior. What do you expect?
That's my only comment on Simon Belmont.
I'm very excited for Simon because since the inclusion of third-party characters in Brawl, I've been caterwauling and clamoring for Simon to be in Smash. But to get Simon and also Richter, my heart exploded. I was very happy.
I'm surprised they went with Richter and not Trevor.
I was actually surprised about that too, but I guess it makes sense because Simon and Trevor look pretty similar. Richter has that characteristic blue, and he's kind of the divide between old school Castlevania and new school Castlevania, so it kind of makes sense. Yeah, most Americans got their first taste of Richter at the beginning of Symphony of the Night.
Was Trevor in what games was Trevor Belmont in? Was it just Castlevania 3?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah, because Richter's been in Castlevania, has been in Rondo of Blood, Dracula X, and Symphony of the Night. I think Richter was a much more logical choice.
And Simon's been in like 80 of them.
Trevor and Simon were also in the 3DS game.
Oh, Trevor was in the 3DS game?
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Then that does make things a little bit more interesting as to why they would swap him out.
And he's also the lead in the Netflix show.
Yes, which is another good point because that's pretty popular. So,
yeah.
So Red Dead Redemption is our final suggested talking point. The only thing I have to say about it is that I don't know anything about it except cowboys.
I do know, as of today for Red Dead Redemption 2, the online has officially gone up. It's no longer in beta. Today's the first day it went up, and according to my friend who has it, who has not letting me see a lick of this game because he's an asshole.
Oh.
If you're listening to this, I love you.
But I love you more.
According to him, it's surprisingly not glitchy.
Oh, good. Okay. It's not a GTA 5 syndrome.
No, so far from his experience, it makes him want to start his own little posse to just go around and just like raid towns and everyone else. Like I said, I don't know what it looks like or what the features are compared to GTA Online.
I haven't played GTA Online in years.
Oh my god!
Probably fewer hover bikes.
Yeah,
and fewer people flying around in tanks.
Yeah, well, because from what I've been told, if you play Red Dead Redemption 2, it's like playing GTA, but with horses.
Like Skyrim with guns.
I've heard that also.
There's our memes.
Yeah. All I want in the future Red Dead Redemption 2 update is the flying train from Back to the Future Part 3.
Yes.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Oh, please.
Oh,
we already technically have the DeLorean in GTA Online, so it can happen. So back to Smash.
So Smash. Trying to think of what else.
Legit though. Nintendo has announced that for Smash there are 5 DLC fighters, like additional.
Right.
Like, there's Piranha Plant, and then there's 5 additional fighters.
Yeah.
I
Who do
really
you
hope
want them to
Alucard's
be?
in there. I really want Alucard to be a DLC fighter now.
They Nintendo has said they are predetermined, so Sakurai
they've
doesn't have
already
any say
yeah,
in it.
they've already
Yeah,
been
It was like the
decided.
Nintendo higher ups picked them.
Oh.
Yeah,
So-
and we know what they're all
That
going to
makes
be.
Waluigi
3
is
of them are going to be
sad.
Gino, and 2 of them are going to be Waluigi. You know, get out.
So yeah, make
Waluigi time.
so make way for the Bokoblins, the Goomba, and,
Bullet Bill.
What else?
Bullet Bill, oh yeah. Shy Guy.
I'd play Shy Guy.
Oh no! You know
Give me
what?
Sniff
Oh
It.
wait,
What's
are we
the
getting?
most-
First
Hang
sniff it
on.
because he can shoot.
New funky mode.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Fighter Pack. New funky
Nabbit.
mode.
Yeah, I
New
want
funky
Nabbit as a
mode.
fighter.
And
Yeah.
Knuckles.
And
And
Knuckles.
Knuckles.
We've already and Knuckles. Hey, we've already added in King K. Rool. It's
I'm
it's
so happy
totally
about that.
possible. Guys,
got it, guys.
Funky Kong confirmed for Smash Ultimate.
I
I've
want
got.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong.
Hear me out.
Oh,
Hear me out.
Cranky Kong.
Cranky Kong. Yes.
Hey, I would actually much prefer Dixie Kong. I'm gonna be honest. Dixie's
Kong
is
cool.
pretty good.
Stop going
Or
for
Tiny
the popular
for the
answer.
same thing.
Dixie
Tiny
Kong
can be the Echo
would be
Fighter.
Super cool.
Yay!
I'd like to see
I-
Professor Layton actually, just as more representation.
Professor
Yes.
Layton,
Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phoenix Wright would be great. I mean, he did really well in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or whatever
Yes.
game he was in.
Yeah.
Lowest
I
tier
think-
possible.
Yeah, but he was still awesome.
I am speculating that when Metroid Prime 4 comes out, there's going to be like a new villain or character that they'll probably put in Smash.
Wait, Metroid Prime 4 is coming out?
Bro, where the hell have you been?
No, I knew that it was in development. I just didn't know that it was ever actually gonna get done.
It's
2019.
most likely going to be, it's most likely going to be the star of E3 next year.
Yeah, man, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out in January. I
Oh my
think we
God.
can start to believe in things again.
Allegedly,
It's got a release date.
it
Let me
has
believe.
a release date. Release dates can be changed.
Yeah. Is anyone else surprised that at this point in time, Sora is still not in Smash?
Sora for
That's a good
Smash.
point. Why
Donald,
you'd think of
Donald
all
for
things
Smash.
they'd have like Sora or something in Smash. You do like a Trinity limit or
Riku, Echo
something,
Fighter.
or like a drive form as his Smash move.
Maybe he was, but then they found out Kingdom Hearts 3 wasn't coming to Switch.
And Sakurai got pissed.
Well, I'm going to sound like a broken record like the rest of the internet, but I want Banjo-Kazooie so badly.
I think that's gonna be tough because they would have to strike it because like that's not like
Yeah, you would have to strike a deal
That's-
with Rare and
no with Microsoft
At this point, it's just
Yeah.
a pipe dream.
because if they strike a deal with Microsoft, then everyone's gonna be claiming for Master Chief.
I'm just trying to think of the most like unlikely candidates for Smash and what they would be like in Smash.
Dude, my friends and I have a list of like unlikely characters for Smash.
Like
I think one of them is
Seahorse or something.
Toxic Seahorse would be interesting. Actually, a lot of the Mega Man bosses, especially Mega Man X bosses, I
Uh-huh.
feel like you could do stuff with that.
Yeah.
Give me
yeah, I guess
Splash
you
Woman,
could.
damn it.
Dude,
But then
freaking
you'd have
Boomer
to-
Kuwanger.
You'd have to play favorites though, because once you choose one like Maverick or Robot Master, then you're like, all right, why'd you choose this one and not this one?
Hey, all right. I know we already have tons of Sword Boys in Smash, but
Zero. Yeah, I agree.
Zero really ought to be like a DLC character or something. Or
Yeah.
at least, like, well, no, he can't be an Echo Fighter, because, I mean, he does have the Z-Buster, but you can't have Zero and not give him the Z-Saber, let's be honest.
No, that's his thing.
I would really like to see Zero. I saw, if we want to go back to a quick meme, I saw this great post on Reddit, which was a shower thought, and it was that apparently all of the fighters in Smash are so vain and self-obsessed that the moment the camera isn't facing them, they take damage and die.
My friends and I on the list we have one of my favorite entries is a GameCube.
Just a game.
Just a
GameCube?
GameCube.
Hey, that's how you appease the Melee fans. And then the GameCube specifically will have a different coding that allows it to randomly trip.
Look, all I'm saying is we got Rob in there. Why can't we get like the NES 4 score as a fighter or the NES Max?
Dude, NES Advantage all the way.
The Power Glove. Come on, make it happen.
No, guys, make Master Hand a fighter and make the Power Glove a reskin.
No, see, but
Power Glove
then
is
we
a
have to talk to
reskin for
Mattel.
Master Hand.
He comes in with a quote, "It's so bad."
Yeah. Or Crazy Hand, actually. Instead of Crazy Hand, have Power Glove.
Christ.
Ugh. Crazier hand.
Have the sewing attachment for the NES.
The NES mouse. New assist trophy, Game Boy printer.
Oh,
That would be cool.
beat me
though.
to it.
I remember I wanted one of those, but I was also 5.
The ultimate game-breaking character. Introducing the Game Genie.
Oh,
Ooh.
that would be kind of
Yes.
cool, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but Nintendo would never
Give him some
do
particle
that because
physics.
They hate Galoob.
Hey,
You
new
know, the
Echo Fighter,
Contra guys.
Deku Link.
The Contra guys pimping your ass in zips.
That would actually be really cool. Actually, I would love for
Right?
Toon Link. I would
Yeah,
love to
Majora's
get
Mask.
some Echo, like
Wait,
some like
why
Majora's
isn't
Mask
that? Why
mask.
isn't that the moveset for young Link? They could have totally changed them up.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Hey,
Brandon.
Nintendo.
What the hell are you doing?
Excuse me.
I made a Battletoads joke, and now I'm actually seriously thinking about Battletoads being in Smash.
Yes.
But that's another
Yeah.
That would be the same territory. as
Yeah.
And Shovel Knight and Plague Knight and Spectre Knight, they all need to be in Smash.
And Knights into
Guacamole
Dreams.
guy.
Guacamole. guy.
Super
Knights
Meat
in
Boy.
Dreams would be. Wasn't Knights an assist trophy at some point?
I don't remember.
Probably. Who the hell wasn't?
I think
think
there
she-
might have been an assist trophy in Brawl. I
I
want to
think
say.
she was in Brawl.
You know, while we're talking about like,
Yes, because she had a new
obscure
game
Sega
coming out
characters, let's get some Opa from Fantasy Zone into our Smash.
Hey, yeah, Opa, or better yet, some Alex Kidd.
Hell yeah!
Chibi
Stardew
Robo.
Valley
Chibi
My
Chicken.
Robo.
favorite Sega
hey.
character that isn't Sonic.
Mr. Drill.
Oh yeah,
Joseph Martin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's get the
Prince of
Mothman
Katamari.
into Smash.
Hey, yeah.
Confirmed. $20 DLC.
The pile of garbage from Katamari Damacy.
Yes.
Actually, it would be cool to see the Prince in Smash. That would be really cool.
That would be great.
Wait, the Prince for wait.
The Prince
The
from
Prince from
Katamari.
Katamari.
Oh, I was thinking Prince from Prince of Persia.
That would be cool too.
That too.
That'd be cool too. But no, not from the games. Jake Gyllenhaal from the movie.
Not
Hey,
even
I
from
want to
the
get
movie, just Jake
freaking
Gyllenhaal.
Roger Wilco from Space Quest while we're at it.
Ooh.
Let's do yes.
Or Graham
Can I-
from
Guybrush Threepwood.
Can I have Dwayne the Rock?
Yes,
Jack.
Guybrush Threepwood.
Can I have Dwayne
Sword
the Rock
fight by
Johnson?
insulting people.
Can I have Dwayne the Rock Johnson from the Doom movie in this game?
We can only have Guybrush
know
Threepwood.
we
as
know
a
Shaq
fighter.
already has a
We can't
moveset.
have
Yeah,
Mario.
Shaq does indeed have a moveset. Just import him straight from Shaq Fu.
Controls
He's
and
been
all.
updated.
Oh,
LeBron
God.
James.
What?
Well, if we're just going to talk about
LeBron.
video
LeBron
games
James.
and
Hey,
real
if we're
people
putting in
like
LeBron,
Marcel
we got to
Rizzi,
put my man Steph Curry in there.
We got to get Uncle Jesse.
Are we
I
skipping
don't
over
even
Jordan
like
here?
basketball.
Neither do I.
I like
This is
LeBron,
the
but
closest I've
I'm
ever gotten.
from Cleveland, and that's the only reason.
Speaking of Smash videos, I am digging the hell out of these commercial remixes.
Oh my gosh, the memes.
The
my
memes
Oh
for
my
World
gosh.
of Light is absurd.
I think one of my favorites is the Don't Stop Me.
That was the first
Having a
one.
good time. I don't remember the name of the song
It's
anymore.
Don't-
It's the
Don't
Queen
Stop Me
song.
Now.
Oh no.
Don't Stop Believing or Don't Stop Me Now?
Don't
There's
Stop Me
Stop
Now.
Me.
Thank you. Oh,
Yeah, that's
why
my
did I
thing.
forget the
That
name?
was
Yeah,
the
Don't
first-
Stop Me Now.
That was the first one, and it's really funny because I was like, what bothered me in the original video is that it was slightly out of sync for most of it because the song is so fast. It's like all the beats hit at different times, so it's
Yeah.
like, it's impossible for it to sync up properly.
Mhm.
Lo and
Yeah.
behold, I see like 2 videos on YouTube that says "Don't stop smashing" resynced. One of them is awful, and the other one is fantastic. But it's only fantastic because they sped up like 2 frames after one of the cues, and then the rest is just perfect.
Amazing.
I mean, sometimes that's all it takes to make things work.
And
What
then
a great meme.
and then in the comments section, it's just like a bunch of assholes just going like, just being like, I don't really see the point of this resync. I can't tell what the thing is and whatnot. It's like, shut up.
This video wasn't made for you. This video wasn't made for you. It was made for the few of us who are just too OCD to accept the original.
The professionals here.
It was the best meme of 2018. That's a lie. There are too many good memes, but anyway.
There are a lot of good memes in 2018. I can't believe freaking Ugandan Knuckles came out this year.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
this has been a very long year.
Yeah.
Hey guys, do you know what time it is? Time to talk about what games we've been playing.
Oh, snap.
That's a great idea.
Oh! So what games have we all been playing?
I'll start since I haven't,
not me.
I'm sorry. I just you were like, we'll start with XYZ, and I just totally took over and said, I'll start.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say I'll start because it hasn't changed since the last time we did a podcast. I'm still working on my 251 run of Gold, Silver, and Crystal, which I'm playing on top of Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. So I'm just killing myself at this point, but I'm almost done. I'm so close to being done.
What was the most difficult Pokemon to catch so far?
Other than Celebi, because it required a lot of, terrible, terrible things. The roaming beasts.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, there are ways to manipulate them, but it's still a hassle to go through. It's just too much time spent. And when you finally find it, the one you're looking for,
then it runs away.
Well, I'm lucky enough that I have figured out a way. Basically, before I even started the run, I sat down and I was like, all right, I'm going to make a spreadsheet and I'm going to write notes about every Pokemon that requires notes. And I just wrote like full paragraphs about the 3 beasts to remind myself of how to catch them. It's actually very simple to catch Lugia and Ho-Oh with Ultra Balls. So I just decided, all right, if I'm playing through all 3, then I'll use a Master Ball on Raikou in Gold, and a Master Ball on Entei in Silver, and you actually can catch Suicune through natural progression. You don't have to roam for him in Crystal. So it was really just a matter of roaming around in Gold and Silver to find the first 2 legendary beasts, and even with the manipulation of using repels and having a high-level Pokemon in your party so that the only thing that does show up is the beast, they still have to be in the area where you're looking, and there are like something like 43 unique areas that the beast can show up in the game. So you just got to be lucky, and it takes hours upon hours. But when they finally show up and you finally catch them, it's a cause for celebration. I can't tell you how much champagne I poured. For me.
Sounds like a great
for
time.
Myself. Yeah, honestly, it's fun.
Black Friday, I got Skyrim for $15 on PS4.
Nice.
All DLC
Nice.
and everything. Been playing it a little bit. Some of my roommates, I made them a separate save file so they wouldn't screw it up, and it's fun.
That game is 7 years old. I just realized that, and I'm very
It is
mad.
a really old game.
I went to the midnight release. That was a long
I'm so
time
angry.
ago.
Anyway.
Jeez. Yeah, we were saying, it's like, this is the PS4 version. Why does it still look awful? I'm just like, because it's a port.
It just works.
It's because it's a port, that's why. Literally,
it just works, man. It just worked.
All they did for the remaster was add more foliage and up the textures to like
and fix the way that water flows.
And the water thing. But I also downloaded a water mod also that made it look better.
They also just slightly improved the engine in general. Like, now you can have more NPCs like loaded at the same time without just destroying the game.
But I also had to download a patch, I think, from one of the mods that just fixed a lot more shit.
Yeah.
But, the unofficial patch, that's necessary.
Does it work on console?
They do now, on that one.
Wow.
Yeah,
mods work on PS4 now.
Literally
That's really awesome.
Literally on the PS4 menu, when you start a new game, it says new game, continue, load game, mods.
Nice.
Like, holy shit.
Nice. That's awesome.
Getting with the times.
And
just
then there's
a little bit.
And then there's also the Creation Club where you have to pay for mods. But I'm not doing that. So
yeah, we don't talk about that. No one does.
By the way, if anyone is a little self-promotion here, if anyone's going to be playing Skyrim in the next maybe 2 months, I'd say, look up the Immersive Encounters mod. It's going to be updated soon.
Oh, it is.
And It's going to be updated soon with new voices, new characters, some of whom are orcs played by me.
Hey.
Nice. Yo, no way. I actually,
Nice.
that was like one of the first mods I downloaded. That's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Well done.
Thank you.
Next person.
So, I kind of didn't realize that Dragon Quest XI had released a couple... What was it? It was a couple months back. I think it released in, like, September or something. Mm-hmm. So, I got the game about 2 weeks ago, and I have already put about 60 hours or so into it, and I absolutely love it. I have not been a huge follower of the Dragon Quest series, but I really, really enjoyed Dragon Quest VIII back when that, like, first came out. Me and my family played that, like, out in our main room, and it's one of the few games that I think my parents have actually played. I have just been essentially just binging Dragon Quest XI, and I have been having so much fun with it. Just right off the bat, I would say that some of the voice acting, it's good. It can be rather unconvincing at worst, but like when the lines are good, they are so good. Some of those characters have some absolutely wonderful lines, and the delivery is just so good. The writing just overall is just top notch. All of the item descriptions, the enemy descriptions, the actual dialogue that, you actually have to read through is all just absolutely wonderful. The battle system, it's so good to see this game. This game looks, like, gorgeous. Had a couple issues with a little bit of performance. It's a very, very demanding game, even when I'm really not entirely sure why. And I've also encountered a lot of crashing. They've added a lot of new interesting tweaks to the system. They've changed some of the progression system with how you level up and how you learn new abilities. Now instead of just allocating points one by one into a bunch of different skill branches, now you actually have a tree that unlocks. It's kind of vaguely similar. The closest thing I know of to equate it to is like the sphere grid from Final Fantasy X. It's not even quite like that, but it's been an absolute joy to play through so far. I really cannot wait to finish the game in probably another 30 hours.
That's cool. Hearing you speak very highly of it, I'm excited to finally get it because I still haven't, and I'm looking forward to it.
Hey Dan, do you play video games?
Yeah, sometimes.
All right.
I mean, just been going through a lot of stuff lately. Nothing really super standing out. I played early 2000s, late 90s PC game Anachronox recently. Structurally, and in terms of gameplay, it's like if Chrono Trigger was made for PC and was 3D. It's got got very similar battle system, similar structure. Cyberpunk sci-fi though, and that's different. It's also one of the funniest games I've ever played. Like I'd say almost on par with like Tales from the Borderlands. Also very annoying because it's early 2000s PC game before they understood how to not annoy the players with repetitious mechanics and stuff like that. But overall, I had a good time with it.
Nice. I played Pokémon and Stardew Valley. I like it, except for the fact that I don't get a Vulpix and my sister does.
Oh. Well, you can trade.
Yeah.
That's the point.
I forgot about trading because I've never done it before because I never really thought about it.
I'm gonna be honest, I never traded until the Pokemon games had online capability. I never knew, well, I knew plenty of people who had Pokemon, but I never knew anybody with a link cable.
That's a cultural artifact right there.
So far, my favorite thing about the new Pokemon is that my Pikachu rides on my shoulder and also has the same outfits as me. So I can like match my Pikachu, and this is the best. This is the best game of all time ever.
I'm honestly thinking about like I have this beautiful mental image of like the big, like bulky, like angry Groudon in like Like a dinky white T-shirt that says "I'm with stupid" with the arrow.
Oh, please, Game Freak.
Hey, someone out there,
Also,
can you fan art that?
Another question. Do you happen to know what generations of Pokemon are available in this game? Like, are all
I think it's
Pokemon
only Gen
available, or
1.
is it just Gen 1?
It's
just
Generation
Gen
1
1.
all the way through Mew, plus Meltan and his evolved form, whose name escapes me. So there's 153 Pokemon total.
Interesting. So, but you cannot, even after, like, say, beating the game, do we know if there's any way to get or transfer in other Pokemon?
As of right now, that has yet to be revealed.
I feel like that's a feature they're definitely going to add at some point, though. Considering the models are pretty much just ripped straight from Gen 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's a pretty safe bet that they definitely have the means to add these.
Oh,
and
they
if anything,
definitely
that adding more Pokemon in might just be a better incentive for, that might also make it improve the experience of experience grinding. Actually,
Give me my
now you have
Emolga.
more Pokemon that you'll actually want to catch.
Yeah, that would be really
I want
interesting.
my
We'll just have to
Zappy
wait
Rat.
and see. We don't know yet.
Zappy Rat.
Which Zappy Rat? There's like 80 of them.
That's true.
Exactly.
My flying Zappy Rat, my Emolga,
Pachirisu,
Emolga.
my baby.
and then there's Dedenne, which is Discount Pikachu.
Okay, Mimikyu, my friends.
Oh, I love
Mimikyu
Mimikyu.
is so good.
Mimikyu.
Yeah, but
If I had
Mimikyu
to pick a
Mimikyu's
if
not a
I had to
Zappy
pick the
Rat,
best
though.
Pikachu clone, it would absolutely have to be Mimikyu.
Welcome to the Pokemon
Hey,
cast.
we don't call them clones, we call them Echo Fighters.
Mimikyu for Smash.
Well
Brings me to my
done,
next
well
point.
done. We brought it back around. That's so good.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for the GameCola Podcast number 127. Some things. If you like our podcast, you should check out our actual internet website, GameCola.net. We also are on YouTube. James?
Well, we are on YouTube. We have all sorts of video game playthroughs, and all of our podcasts are uploaded in video format there as well. And one of our main series that's going on right now is me and John Rizzi playing through Danganronpa, which you should definitely check out. I believe, have we finished the Valhalla playthrough up there yet?
We finished the game.
I mean, we finished the game, but I mean, is
We
the
finished
playthrough
the game
fully
and the
uploaded
videos are
yet?
in the editor's possession.
Okay, so we
Let's
are,
not
the
roast
two
him because
main
he's
ongoing
also
series
editing
are
this
Valhalla and our Danganronpa playthrough. So definitely check those out if you're into that kind of content.
And Dan, I think you have something going on as well.
Yeah, actually, I should probably get back to that at some point. Playing the pizza delivery boy who saved the world.
Oh, that's right.
Then we also have all of our podcasts up on iTunes. You can find us the GameCola Podcast. If you like it, rate us highly. If you don't, we're not there. Simple as that.
Or
We
better
also-
yet, you should tell us how to do better.
Yeah, or that. We are also on social media. We are on Facebook and Twitter. You can find us at GameCola on Twitter and just search GameCola on Facebook. We also have a hashtag for the podcast. It is, I believe, the GCPC, hashtag the GCPC. And that does it for us. Thank you for listening. Thanks everyone for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
It was fun.
It's always fun.
And next time you will definitely be hearing the voice of Joseph Martin doing all of this podcast commander stuff. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, yeah, Opa, or better yet, some Alex Kidd.
Hell yeah!
Chibi
Stardew
Robo.
Valley
Chibi
My
chicken.
Robo.
favorite Sega
hey.
character that isn't Sonic.
Mr. Drill.
Oh, yeah.
Joseph Martin.
Yeah!
Yes.
Let's get the moth meme into Smash.
Hey, yeah.
Confirmed, $20 DLC.
Yes.